this patent could... Like, this patent expiry could transform these phones.
In 2025, a patent is due to expire that could change smartphone gaming forever.
Did Xperia actually, or Sony, actually have a patent on controls built into a phone? That doesn't surprise me, actually. Did you see Titus' video on the new Microsoft Outlook? No. I didn't even know he made that video.
And this device could be the build-up to something a lot more special. Let me talk you through why we might be about to witness a pivotal moment in mobile gaming and how two completely different devices are integral to this story. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas, and do you remember this little guy? It's Sony Ericsson's Xperia Play, and it was pretty much the PlayStation phone. It came out almost 14 years ago.
That one I probably should put on a higher delay. I don't know what the delay on that one is.
With this slide-out controller pad that really fixed a lot of what made mobile gaming so bad, the controls. I recently covered this phone in another piece of content, and I asked the question, why is it that other manufacturers aren't implementing a controller style like this? Because this, the almost brand new ROG Phone 9 Pro, is the other end, the up-to-date gaming phone. Sure, it has capacitive shoulder buttons and accessories that you can attach to the phone.
Is that a thing that... What? Wait. It has shoulder buttons built into the phone. I have no idea what goes on with gaming phones. Most of those... Hydrate is one of the ones built into Twitch. A lot of these are pretty standard. Some of them I did yoink, yes. But that one's built into Twitch.
Phone, should you want to improve the
not that one. This one. There you go.
ergonomics when gaming, but those things come with their own caveats, like the fact you have to haul around a whole extra thing when you go out with your phone, just to sneak in 5 minutes of extra gaming. And with regards to those triggers, yeah, they're useful.
God, that looks insufferable to play. I can't even imagine, like, playing a shooter on a phone. Like, playing a shooter on a controller is bad enough. I don't even... How do you throw it when you die? Do you see your Steam Deck or Switch? There are people growing up only gaming on phones. You say that, but there are people who know more about, like, how to use a phone than how to use a mouse. Possibly. But I'll probably change some of the pricing.
But they're not nearly the same as a full set of controls with tactile feedback. And those of you who have tried to play more than a couple of minutes,
you're up, yeah, exactly. You're upside down. I'm the right way up.
Will know that the on-screen controls are just absolutely not it. What Sony did was the ultimate compromise, and given how thin we can now make OLED displays, how efficient our processors are, and how much better our manufacturing tolerances are, you'd think we could make a way improved version of this, right?
If anyone wanted to.
I mean, with how insane the handheld PC market is right now, there's clearly scope and a gap in the market, so why has no one built a follow-up? Well, you can thank Sony itself for this. The company holds the patent for mobile phones with a gamepad attached. Of
course they do.
This has been a roadblock stopping the likes of Asus ROG, Razer and so on from creating a follow-up to the frankly wonderful Xperia Play. But the thing is, that patent is set to expire on the 21st of June 2025, so in the next...
The thing with patents though is if you can make a modification to it in a way that is also treated as a real invention, you can hold the patent longer. This is the way a lot of companies get around it. Like, they'll make a slight, very little modification, and it ends up being, hey, well, another fucking 7,000 years.
Sort of 7 or 8 months. It's possible we could see development of a new phone with those handheld controls.
It would be cool.
And this isn't only exciting
Blame
because
Disney,
of the possibility of a dedicated hardware setup with controls in a footprint that slides up into your pocket way more easily than the chunky additional ones. But also,
and this is the way the drug companies do it. This is why here's a little bit of a tangent. This is why you don't have a lot of pharmaceuticals going generic, because what they'll do is they'll make a slight modification to the formula, to like the chemical bond, whatever, and basically say, Here you go.
Patents are
Enjoy.
stupid and stop people from innovating, competing, or
True.
even better products. It is
Yeah.
especially bad for software. Look at all the shit Nintendo tried to patent.
Yeah, they try to patent stuff even after it has been made. Like, Palworld's a great example. They didn't make the patent for throwing balls at monsters until after Palworld released. But Japan is a bit weird with the way they handle patents.
Because mobile compute has got so good to the point where it's actually starting to look very promising and a good direction for a form of gaming to go in. I mean, just look at how incredible Apple's Mac Mini performs with its ARM chips. Then look at the power of the ROG Phone 9 Pro's Snapdragon 8 Elite, and you can see that this desktop computer pivot to ARM and the already established and powerful mobile ARM chips
You
that
can
we've had
try.
now for the past couple of generations have the scope to become seriously powerful and efficient pieces of technology.
And you don't have the money to fuck with
Steam Deck
Nintendo.
runs an x86 chip, and that thing is fantastic. It sold like hotcakes and did so much good for the Linux gaming community that many, including myself, were stunned at just how fast a lot of these games were either becoming natively compatible or ported over with a compatibility layer. But
Natively compatible is not really that much. Is that Gran Turismo 4? You definitely do have games that are becoming natively compatible, but for the most part, it's entirely reliant on things like Proton. Like, mostly it's indie games that are getting ported.
the issue with the Steam Deck is it's huge, not really in the same kind of category as something
Sure.
like this. The ROG Phone 9 Pro's chip, the Snapdragon 8 Elite, performs how its name suggests. It is seriously capable that can and does...
That is such a stupid addition to the phone. How difficult is it to turn your screen on and see what the battery percentage is? Like, that's cool, right? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that is really cool, but it is so fucking extra and doesn't really provide any value.
How its name suggests. It is seriously capable that can and does run COD Mobile, Genshin Impact, Riptide, and...
Did you say Genshin?
That can and does run COD Mobile, Genshin Impact...
Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact. Alright.
Riptide and heaps of other games stupidly well, and proves that the internal technology, the insane performance, the efficiency in the compute, that's all pretty much there. It's at that level that we require for mobile gaming, and you know what? It's only going to get better. And I don't mean just playing mobile versions of games, I mean playing emulated titles and eventually full fat games on ARM.
What's, on, like, the top-end phones, what is, like, top-end emulation like? Can you do PS2, like, effectively now? Because I'm not actually sure what the state of emulation is. PS3 is still rough on PC, so I don't know, I would very much doubt that's even remotely playable. But is PS2, like, reasonable now? Because last I checked, I think N64 was sort of where emulation was sitting at. I know you can run it, but can you run it well? That's the more important question. Because I don't really care if it boots. If it boots and you get 5 FPS, like...
Brodie is it GIF or GIF. I personally like to pronounce it graphic interchange format.
It's a GIF. I don't care what the creator says, he's wrong.
This is already a big and heavy phone, just like their previous gaming phones, and with their huge
Heavy
batteries
phone.
and bigger cooling systems, I don't see how making
Yo,
it
how's
just
it going?
a smidge bigger would be a major problem. Getting rid of that ridiculous camera setup on the back for something more akin to, say, a Pixel 8a.
Probably should change the category I'm in, shouldn't I?
Slide-out mechanism with a control pad built in. See, this phone is far more tame than the previous ROG phones that we've had. The camera is much bigger, and I guess Asus figured it needed to keep up.
That fucking camera! Holy shit! I'm not a case enjoyer for my phones, so now that we start having these cameras that stick out of the phone, it's not exactly been great for me.
With flagship phones, the normal ones, what they were doing with their cameras.
That sticks out like
they didn't execute
half a
this
centimeter.
super well. Like, yes, it is closer to a pixel than the previous ROG generations, but it's been proven that software can do much of the heavy lifting when it comes to the cameras, so why add just such a huge setup on the back?
Is there any reason to even use a case besides looks? Not breaking your phone? I just heard the question when I popped in. If I remember correctly, the S24 Ultra is able to do PS2 emulation rather well. Okay, fair enough. What phone do I have? This is a... some random Oppo thing. I got it for like 300 Australian dollars. What about EXE? It's EXE.
Of this thing. As much as I can appreciate the tones down look, I don't think most people are going to want a gaming phone regardless of what it looks like.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, they'll buy an iPhone.
Because you're not going to make even a small dent in the overall smartphone market share. There is a pretty cool mini LED matrix on the back, you know, very nice, and I like the dual USB-C ports with the headphone port. Actually,
wow,
similar
that's
in setup
cool.
to what you'll find on the Xperia Play.
Wait, hold up. Dual USB-C and a headphone
mini
port.
LED matrix on the back, you know, very nice, and I like the dual USB-C ports with the headphone port. Actually,
Is there another phone that has that much I/O on it? What the? Wait. 2 USB-C and a headphone. You know what? Take back everything I've said about this phone. That's fucking incredible.
actually similar in setup to what you'll find on the Xperia Play. But imagine this phone with a set of slide-out controls. I really think that it would sell out immediately, even if you had to make it even thicker and heavier than it is. And that's before the whole compatibility issue. See, right now, if you want to play more serious games on here, you're limited to what the Play Store offers, which, let's face it, is not a massive library. But then there are also emulation options, which are pretty popular at the moment for playing older titles on your phone. And then there's game streaming, which the PlayStation Portal has proven can be popular, though that setup relies on a stronger internal network connection
I want to know how many people actually bought a PlayStation Portal
than a fatter online one. Most people are more likely to have that better internal LAN.
What sold better, the
chunky
PSP or the
Wi-Fi.
PlayStation
The
Portal?
ROG Phone 9 Pro in general is a really good phone. 185
Yo, Ren,
Hz
how's it
AMOLED
going?
Screen. It's very bright, very fast, ideal for gaming. The performance in either 512 gig or 1 terabyte is fantastic for storing those larger titles. Its 5800 mAh battery is
My
nice
manager
and chunky
did.
to offer more longevity. And the camera, you know what? It's not bad. It's got that gimbal OIS, which makes
When people talk about modern phone cameras and they're like, oh, it's not bad, oh, this, that. Every phone camera for the past 10 years has looked perfectly fine. I don't think I've cared about a phone camera since, like, the Galaxy S4. I don't really get the camera obsession. I don't either. Like, you look at this camera, right? Where is it? Where is it? It's fine. Like, this is apparently okay. What's bad? What is... Well, no, it's not even that. Like, phones have insanely good cameras. This is insanely good. We reached the point of diminishing returns. Oh, we are long past the point of diminishing returns. We are so far past that.
that gimbal OIS, which makes video surprisingly good. Though honestly, I'm not sure why anyone would buy a gaming phone for the stabilization in video capture. It just makes no sense to me. The adaptive triggers are neat, the speakers are great, but it's not a perfect phone. 2 years of upgrade support for a phone that's this expensive is absolutely laughable.
That's a little rough.
For 4 figures, and it runs into that big aforementioned issue: controls. With Sony's patent expiring and the potential the Phone 9 Pro has,
Hey, welcome back.
the ROG Phone 10 or X could be an absolute banger with proper controls and that insane performance. The whole not sure if it wants to be a gaming phone or a normal flagship thing just isn't working for me. Give us proper software support, have decent cameras with more of a focus on processing, and then lean into the whole gaming phone.
I don't even know what my
Most
phone
people
is.
are buying an iPhone or a Galaxy anyway. What do you guys think? Would you buy a brand new Xperia Play follow-up? Did you own one?
Well, most people buy Galaxies or iPhones because they get these ridiculous phone contracts. But they're like, it's only $100 a month. Wow, that's such a good deal. $100 a month for 24 months. I'm saving so much money. All right then, sure. If you say so.
Of those things back in the day. I'm really glad I bought one to revisit it because it just made me realize how good that formula is. And what do you make of the ROG Phone 9 Pro? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
My phone was like $250 total, shipped and paid. Yeah. Actually, I used to own Motorola. Let me just find out what exactly this is. I can check the settings. Because I don't have a Motorola right now, but it's in that same price range. About device. Oppo A78. Oppo A78 5G. Let's go to that one so I don't... Okay, I can't go to that one because it's not listed anymore. I don't want to go to Amazon because it will dox me. Let's go to Big W. The price has been lowered a lot. But yeah, this is the phone that I have. When it was new, I think it was like $350 Australian. But it's like 4 years old at this point.
To hear about it, how many of you are hardcore mobile gamers?
Not me.
Be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's content and subscribe to never miss another upload. I've been Ryan Thomas and I'll catch you later.
I like his voice. That was a cool video. I don't know if it's going to change anything. I think it would be cool to have like, and I think if the gaming phones actually become like full-on dedicated gaming phones, like they go all the way with it. Mine was 189 USD new. So probably around about the same then. Like maybe like 280 Australian, something like that. Somewhere in that range. I just don't use my phone for much. And I buy like a new phone every like 3 or 4 years.